guys, what's up? It's Derek here from the Kred Yard. I'm doing episode 13 with Pumpkinguts. I'm going to be speaking with both the founding members, Pumpkinguts and Werewolf Guts. We're going to be discussing their latest EP that came out last month, Small Town Ghost Stories, which you can listen to on any of your preferred streaming and on Bandcamp. And also they have a merch pre-order that just went live this weekend. Link down below for that. It's on the Big Cartel website for them. And yeah, this is a really fun one. It was a pleasure to talk to you both. Thank you so much for coming on. And yeah, enjoy the episode, guys. Thank you. Yeah, thank you guys so much for coming on. This is cool. This is episode 13. Very fitting. Wearing a 13... a little bunny on my shirt just for this.
That's awesome.
I mean, you can't really see it now, but yeah. Do you both want to introduce yourselves and what you do in the band?
Sure. Do you want to go? I'm Wednesday or Pumpkinguts or whatever. I'm the singer.
I'd be Werewolf Guts, and I play guitar. But could possibly be switching to drums for a slight bit.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Just for the time being, hopefully.
Yeah. You gotta do whatever works. Okay, we'll get into that too. Cool, awesome. So to start off, I was thinking I wanted to ask you guys, like, how did you both, like, do you remember a time in your life where music made, like, its impact on you? Like, I want to be in a band, or I want to do this. Like, I want to be something. I want to do music in my life. Do you remember a time when that, like, hit you?
Well, I mean, like, I've always wanted to do music, but I'm not, like, musically inclined. Like, I can't play an instrument or anything. I've tried to learn a lot and have never really been very successful at it. So, like, I've never had the opportunity because my voice is, like, weird, I guess. So it's been hard for me to find people that would want to do music with me. So, like, you know, I've had people talk to me about it throughout my life, but nobody ever be, like, serious about it. And, but yeah, like, because, I mean, when I was growing up, music has always been, like, really important to me and stuff. Like, that's what most of my relationships have been based on. Like, I always make friends with people based on music and stuff. And, like, you know, I mean, it's just, like, I just like musical. So I've always wanted to do it.
Cool, awesome. How about you?
Pretty early on, I got into, I guess, music from one of my older brothers. And he started picking up the guitar and learning it. So all, like, me and my other brothers started doing it as well. And pretty much from that point, I wanted to play music with other people in a project or something. But it's really extremely difficult to find people that wants to play the same kind of music that we like around this area. So it was kind of, so I've been doing it for a while, but yeah, that's pretty much, I guess, like, with him being into music and, you know, buying guitars, it kind of got me into wanting to do it as well. So
that's awesome. Cool. Very cool. So for Pumpkinguts, did you guys start, like, last year? Was that the beginnings of it?
Yeah. So, like, I had the idea forever ago, but, like, I don't remember exactly what happened. I just somehow finally talked him into doing music with me one day, and then I wrote the lyrics for the song Slime, which are completely different. Like, the lyrics I wrote the first time around are totally different from what we ended up actually doing with that song. But I wrote those lyrics, and I was just talking to him about it, and I was like, this would be, like, a lot of fun. And then, yeah, we ended up doing that, and we did those acoustic songs. And then I felt like it wasn't going to go anywhere. Like, I thought that was going to be the end of it. Like, we did those few acoustic songs. And then Jason V, like, got into our music and asked us to do that little Instagram live thing with him back in October. And after that point, that's when we were both kind of like, I mean, I feel like maybe we could do something with this, and then we got more serious about it after then. So
awesome. So you kind of like lit the fire, so to speak.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's really cool. That's awesome. Yeah, it's been really, I'll just say it's been really cool to see. I mean, I was aware of you guys, I guess, a little bit after that from the fan show that you do. Because I think V posted it. And I was like, what? I'm like, there's a group of fans getting together just to talk. That's all. You don't really see that for bands or people do that. And I think it was really fun. I really enjoyed it. The first thing you did. Yeah, it's really cool. So I have like a little. I usually write notes, this little scratch. Sometimes my writing's so bad, and I'm just like looking at it. I'm like, oh. So if you see me looking away, or if I'm looking over here, I'm looking to see if I'm still recording because I'm also paranoid. That's gonna turn off. So was that so with the Jasons, was that like that was a big influence then and push to get serious with the music and everything?
Yeah.
And would that be like because I guess you guys could say horror punk is a fair, right? Especially now with your new EP.
Yeah.
Was there any other influences too, that like songwriting influences, guitar influences that bled in?
Alkaline Trio. It's like, I don't know. Pretty much everything that I do is very inspired by them. So that's. I don't mean it to sound so like similar. If it does, I've been told that it does. But yeah, so it just happens.
That's perfect. That's perfect influence.
But I do love them, so I guess that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very. I don't know if it was like when I first listened to the acoustic stuff. It is obviously I know it sounds like cliche, but campy. It's very like ghost story campy. But then like with this new EP, this small town. Oh god, I'm having a blank. Sorry, small town ghost stories. It has that vibe to it, but it's also very like pop punky and horror punky, and it fits so well. And I think you guys both found the sound like perfectly right away. So that was very cool, and it's fresh too.
Well, like what happens with like our writing and stuff is like where I have very little musical knowledge about how to do anything. I like just write stuff and then like I write lyrics and then he just takes them and does, like I don't ever have like a melody or anything like that. He does all of that part of it. Mm-hmm. So that's all him. And then I just kind of fix it to go, like if I need to put in different words or like take something out or whatever, I just do that as we work on it. So.
Right. Well, I mean, you have like don't you write stories and stuff? You have stuff books on Amazon as well.
Yeah, I'm an independent author, and I write a lot of like short stories and fan fiction and poetry and just all that stuff. So it just kind of bleeds over into the music, I guess. Yeah,
it's perfect. So it's almost like it's right. Writing music is new to you, but you're not a stranger to writing. So it's really cool.
Yeah.
It's like you're just trying to get.
I was never good at writing lyrics. So
what was that? I'm sorry.
I said I was never very good at writing lyrics, so like the music is kind of like my thing, and then it works with them doing the lyric stuff.
Right.
So
that's perfect.
Makes things easier.
Yeah, that's perfect. So with your new EP, I guess I don't know the date exactly. I know it was March because you had it on Bandcamp, but then the streaming came out like separately.
Yeah.
Right. When did you guys start recording for that?
I don't know. Probably end of January, beginning of February?
It was the beginning of it was like the beginning of January, I believe. It's because we ended up buying all the stuff that we needed to do it, and I think it was like at the beginning of January when I made like the first initial purchase for things, which was just like a little audio interface, and then from that point we started like doing like recording the guitars and stuff like that. So
Okay, was this both your first time, like also learning the process of recording and while you were doing it?
I mean, I'd recorded music with other people before, but I'd never done it like myself. Like I'd been in the room one time, so I kind of knew like the process, I guess, of how to do it. But actually doing it was an entirely different ball game. So
Right.
it was a lot of learning and a lot of like watching YouTube videos and reading articles and stuff of what sounds best and how to do like dB levels, and yeah, so it was kind of difficult.
I hear you.
It's still not perfect, but
yeah, but it came out really good, honestly. I knew the EP was going to be good, just from based off the acoustic stuff. Mm-hmm. But I was like totally blown away just by everything. It's awesome. So with the tracks and everything, I wanted to say too. You said like I was listening to it the other day, and the song "Followers" that reminds me of like AFI too, like early AFI. Like
I could hear that.
Yeah. I was like, this list, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so good. I mean, I do get that trio, but then I'm like, this, you could throw in some AFI when they were horror punk, I guess, or whatever you want to call it, what they were.
Yeah.
Were you how when you guys were getting ready to release this? How nervous were you guys? Like terrified, or I would have been like this. The first thing you're putting out into the world, you know. Like, were you guys ready to go, or was like,
So I was all right with it. It was a little bit nerve wracking, but it was kind of fun. But
yeah, I mean, I was very nervous,
bouncing around and
lots of nervous energy, and like, I mean, it was like exciting, but it was also like, you know, like we exist in our community right now, or until we put that out there, it was like we were in this bubble where I was used to like basically just having like encouragement and not having to worry about if somebody heard it and was like, oh, that's terrible, or, you know, whatever, because everybody in our little community is awesome and like super supportive and nice and stuff. So that was the thing that I was like, once this is out there, that bubble is gone, because anybody can hear this. And thankfully, as of right now, I haven't had anybody say anything negative to me, but that was what I was worried about, because I was like, especially once like people that actually live around me find out about it, that's what I was like most nervous about, because I know how like this area we live in, and then we also the music scene is around here is not receptive to us or people like that do the kind of stuff that we do. So I was just super like nervous about that, and I'm sure if there could still be something that could happen, like some drama that could arise or something, but thankfully nothing like that's happened so far. But yeah.
what kind of scene is it where you guys are at? What did they play?
Like Southern rock.
Okay.
That's pretty much. I mean, you have like one town that's like about an hour away from us, hour and a half, that there might be something there that we could do. I've not really looked a whole lot into it, but there's like a few like hardcore bands there, I guess. But they're really hardcore.
Okay.
So I don't know if we could really do it or not. I don't know if they would accept it into it. So it's just not something we've looked into really yet, but that might be where we try to go to for like close shows, I guess.
Also though, the on the other side of that though, around in where we're at, there is a small like indie prog rock kind of scene, and that also doesn't work with us either, because you know, like it's a bunch of people who sound like some kind of mixture between like the Front Bottoms and like I don't know, like Foxing or something like that. Like it's just not very welcoming to us. So
yeah, you know that you think they wouldn't welcome you at all. You know they wouldn't.
I know. I do not think it's gonna happen.
Yeah. Oh, man. You never know. I could do like a one-off show, or you know, just test the waters. So yeah, that's good. I want to lead into like for playing shows. I know that you just said earlier in the interview you're going to switch to drums, but do you guys have a full band set up?
We do now, yeah.
Oh, cool.
That's the last piece that we were needing was somebody to play drums. Like we just recently got our bass player.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And we had our first practice with him
2 days ago.
2 days ago, and everything went awesome. So as long as he's still good for it, and I'm pretty sure he is, that he's going to be the full-time bass player. And then we have our lead guitarist, who did all the lead work and the keyboard work on the EP.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So we've had him for a while. He's just not really made himself known yet.
Yeah.
But he is out there. And then, finding, like, we had somebody to play drums, and then I don't know what's exactly going on with him, so maybe if he gets back with us and still wants to do it, I think he might be having some, like, family issues. But if he gets back with us and still wants to do it, we'll probably let him do that, and I'll go back to guitar. But
Okay.
for the time being, so it'll be like a 4-piece, just bass, guitar, drums, vocals. So
Very cool. Very cool. That's I guess like compared to playing on like you guys have played on Instagram and stuff, but I know it's like a different ball game being on a stage and stuff. But is there any are you guys like willing to do that right away or as soon as you can, or are you trying to work things out a bit more once you get everything solidified?
I really want to start playing shows like as soon as possible, but I've never played a show. Like everything that I'm doing is completely new to me. I've never done anything with music, so like it's all just a whole brand new thing for me. But I'm like really excited to start playing shows. So as soon as we get like a couple of practices and stuff done, I think we're gonna start looking to try to get some shows in some places. So
awesome, great, that's incredible. So like a year ago, like say like a year ago like today, you wouldn't think you'd be here right now doing this at all.
No, we weren't even doing this yet. Like I think we started around like May or June last year. Like so.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Because it's also very inspiring to this to go out and do it. Because I think when I don't know if I had this YouTube thing when I saw the fan show yet. I don't remember. No, I didn't. I don't think I did. So I think I had a friend that does YouTube videos like haunted attraction reviews, but watching that fan show, I was like, oh, these guys are just hanging out, and I'm like, oh, I could like interview people like this or something. And I'm like, I should give this a shot. So I did it. In a way, I had to thank you too for doing that, because that kind of brought me out of my shell. Oh, because I was like, it was awesome. Because that little hangout at the fan show was so cool. I know I said it earlier, but I'll say it again. It was really cool.
Well, thank you. I mean, I don't know. We just like I'm always interested in being like in like fan clubs and groups and things like that.
Yeah.
And we all love the Jasons so much and stuff. And I was like, and that Sunday when V wasn't going to be doing the show, I just was in the chat on his show, just like talking with Mike and Dak and stuff. And it was honestly kind of a joke at first. I was like, oh, we'll just do one, and then like we actually started talking about it afterwards, and we were like, yeah, we're going to do this for sure. And then we just set it up and did it.
Yeah. That's so cool. Also with the fan show, you also have the Midnight Moth podcast. I think I'll get into that a little bit if you would. How did that come to begin?
So like I've been listening to podcasts and stuff since like 2019, I think, around the end of 2019. And I have had tons of ideas like for my own. And then we were watching Adventure Time.
Nice.
And Starchy on Adventure Time has his radio show where people call in and talk about conspiracy theories and stuff. And I was like, that would be really fun to do that. Like, I wish that was a thing. And then I was like, well, like, if it's something I want, I can make it a thing, because that's what I do with everything. So I'm like, yeah, like I want to do that. So I started talking to my friend that hosts it with me, and me and her, when we were teenagers, we used to do a lot of like ghost hunting and stuff like that. And then we both really love like terrible horror movies and stuff. So I talked to her, and she was like telling me that she'd be interested in doing it because she didn't have a whole lot else going on. So we just started doing it, and it's going pretty good.
Yeah, the Leprechaun one was my favorite. Well, that was good. Very fitting. It helped kick off the whatever St. Patty's Day is for me.
Yeah.
Werewolf, is there anything else you do, or is it just with Pumpkin Guts?
No, this Pumpkinguts is the only thing that I'm part of. I actually had stopped playing music for quite a while.
Oh, okay.
And recently picked it back up just for this project. I wasn't actually going to be part of it.
Oh, yeah?
He was trying to make me learn how to play guitar. That way he didn't have to do it.
I despised being in a band for a minute.
Yeah.
I didn't want no part of it. So, but no, honestly, I think after we did the thing with V, it really kind of... I guess it made me kind of remember how much I actually did enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when I think I started taking it serious. Because if you go back and watch the old videos, I was just an arm.
Yeah,
oh, right, yeah.
So, and because I wasn't going to be in it. So, and then after we did that, we found that little like cheap werewolf mask to do that video with. And that's kind of what sparked the werewolf idea. So
cool. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, it goes great, and I guess the other members too. They're gonna have their own little thing.
Yeah,
eventually too.
Yeah. The lead guitarist is Scarecrow Guts,
mm-hmm.
and then the bassist is gonna. We haven't decided on what he's gonna be called yet, but he is a ghost of some sort. I think because I said Ghost Guts to him the other night, and he thought that sounded terrible. So I think we're going to go with something like Phantom Guts or Spectre Guts or something like that.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, yeah. That'd be cool instead of Ghost.
Yeah.
I don't know if I heard you say Zombie Guts one time, but
well, we're trying to stick with stuff that's in the scary stories to tell in the dark.
Okay.
So
we're gonna do a skeleton for the drummer.
Yeah, like if we ever get an actual like a fifth member, there'll be a skeleton. Because I know this is like skeletal, but it's not really it's like it's the cover of that first Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark book.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I guess it's more like clown corpse or something.
Yeah. It's cool though. That's cool. That's really great. What was the biggest challenge? Sorry, I'm going back to the recording. What was the biggest challenge other than like recording the music? Was it like doing the lyrics, recording the lyrics, or the guitar parts?
I thought mixing.
The mixing.
Yeah, like that was because I was afraid like going into it because everything was recorded and everything sounded decent recorded like separately. Like guitars are fine. You know, the drums are just digital, so I didn't have too much to worry about those.
Right.
And then the bass was, all done through me, and I thought it sounded good as well. Yeah. And then lyrically, or vocals and stuff was a little challenging at first, but I think once they figured out how to do it, they got more comfortable as it went along. And honestly, I can listen to it and know which song we recorded vocally first. Because you can tell, I feel like there's a difference in their confidence
mm-hmm.
honestly.
I think so too.
That's cool.
But then we got past all that, it was fine. Once they got more comfortable doing it, it was fine. But then we got to the mixing, and I was terrified I was going to mess everything up. So it's like I'm going to adjust something and just ruin the whole entire recording.
Right. Wow. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. But I've only recorded stuff like on my phone or whatever, so I never thought people are like, oh, you should mix this. I'm like, how the hell do you do that? I'm not doing that.
It was
we also confusing. Like when we recorded the vocals, because the first time we tried to record them, we tried to do them here at our house, but like we have a bunch of cats and like so like we'd put the dogs out in the yard, and then like the cats were still in the house, obviously. So like the microphone was picking up the sounds of like their collars and like them just walking through the house and like all that. So we couldn't even do it in our house. Like we had to pack up the entire setup. And this is like a regular computer. It's not a laptop. So like we had to pack all that up and carry it up to someone else's house and do it. And we also did all that at like, usually we'd start around like 6 a.m. and work until about 11. That way all the people that live up through here where we live at were not up and about yet. So it would be like as quiet as possible.
They all drive really loud trucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I might have heard one or two earlier. I got them too. They come by all hours of the day and night. I'll hear them.
Yeah.
So.
But it's like early morning. You don't get it as much,
right.
Like because I guess they're not up or whatever. But
6 a.m. That's great. That's wow. You guys were down into it. That's really cool.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you too about the song. I don't know if it's okay. That song, "Hello Kate." What is that song about?
That song is about the story, Hello Kate, in the I don't remember which book it's in. I think it's in the second Scary Stories book.
Okay.
It's almost word for word, not word for word, but it's almost like a retelling of that story, like because that's even the name of that story. So like, I think I took like my own interpretation of it though, and wrote this. And I actually wrote that song like in under probably 20 minutes.
Okay.
I wrote that whole song, and like because in the story the guy just like is walking to this dance and he sees a girl walking to that he knows, and he starts to speak to her, and then he remembers that she's dead. So he's like, he's like, oh, she's like, I can't talk to her, that's a ghost. But she follows him to the dance, and then he turns around to tell her to like leave him alone because he's freaked out, and that's basically the end of the story. Like she like screams at him and the story ends.
Okay.
So
I wasn't sure. I know it's called like Ghost Stories, but I wasn't sure maybe if there's like some personal if there's any personal encounters or whatever that you may have had in the lyrics. Anyway.
The main song, because I mean like I have had a lot of the main song that is a personal one is Followers. Because that one is literally like my own experiences with like because there are like spirits and stuff that have followed me around my entire life, and sometimes it's like a burden because they they like affect my dreams and my ability to sleep and stuff like that. So that's kind of what that song, because like I can like feel them. There's like energy shifts and stuff like that, and it sometimes you don't notice it, but other times it's like right there. So
I hear you. Wow, I feel like Kentucky or Pennsylvania are like probably really haunted states in general. That's where I'm at, Pennsylvania. And there's there's so much stuff like in every house. Like there's so many houses near me that are just abandoned, and or even my house I'm in. There's a little girl in my basement.
Oh
yeah. When we first moved in here, we were in the basement. My fiance we were doing laundry, and she opened the garage door, and she just like fell backwards. And I turned around like, what? She's like, there's a little girl in the garage. And like ran in there and like looked around. I was like, I don't see anything, but she like literally just like scared her so bad she just literally flew backwards. So, like she's like, ah!
Yeah.
And sometimes I have my dog crate trained, and I know I lock it.
Yeah.
And some mornings I'll wake up and he's like outside, like he's out there, like just chilling in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Or whatever. All right.
The ghost just wants to play with the dog.
I'm like, oh my god, she let him out or something. But wow, that's cool. That's probably my the tracks though. They changed a lot. But first it was Hello Kate, and then like I said that when I listened to Followers again the other day, I was like, oh, this is so good. And the guitar work is. I don't know if you guys ever heard of the band Mixtapes.
Yeah.
I'm not saying the guys are totally like them, but like I get the same kind of vibe when I listen. Almost like it's very it's just very campy, and they're kind of campy. Like you can like all those songs you can play. They can play acoustically at a fire or something in the woods.
Yeah. Yeah, I used to listen to them a lot. It's been a minute since I've listened to them, but yeah. So that their influence is probably in there, just like it's like a subconscious thing.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's cool. Yeah, I have a little I have a mixtapes tattoo. I met him a couple times and stuff, but yeah, that's what reminded me too, listening to them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So wait. Oh yeah. The interlude song. That's a guy playing keyboards. Sorry, I remember you said you played the keyboards on it earlier.
Yeah. That's that would be the Scarecrow that does those.
That's so cool. I wasn't.
Yeah,
I wanted to ask. Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine. He wrote. We had this idea to do like the lead into the service for the Dead song with like a church sermon kind of thing.
Because in the story that song's based off of, there's a skeleton who is he's leading a church service, and that's what he like. Those are that's the exact words that he's saying in the book that we use, because those are like from like some prayer or something like that. Okay. So we just used it.
That's cool.
Yeah, and then I told him, I was like, hey, we need like a cool like pipe organ type thing to be going what time, this preacher is giving this sermon.
Right.
And so he was like, all right, give me a minute. And then he just kind of figured out this little like organ part. So
that's awesome.
I was like, yeah, that sounds awesome. Let's do it.
Yeah, it ties in so good with the whole album. Like I said, like I knew it was gonna be good, but I was like, you guys had the interludes in it, and it's so great. I'm a simple guy, so when I hear stuff like that, I'm like, wow. Very cool. So I know you guys just went live today. You guys have the merch package just came out.
Yeah.
You guys have a big cartel page. I'm gonna post it down below in the description. How was that getting that set up? Because this is all new to you. So was that difficult to pick and choose what you wanted to do, or?
Yeah, a little bit, because like I don't know, like I didn't understand. It took me a minute. It took us a minute to get, and we actually set all that up like earlier in the week just to make sure we weren't going to have any issues. Because like when we decided to release our album on Bandcamp, that was a last minute a last minute decision. And then we did have some issues with it, and I had already posted the link, and like one of the songs was silent and didn't even work, and like I had to go back in and fix it and stuff. So I was like, we're not doing that again. So
yeah, it's cool. So it's up for pre-order only for this weekend, right? After
we're gonna have the pre-order we're doing 10 days. I'm just kind of following what Rag Picker merch always does, because he always does those 10-day, and I was like, we'll do what he does, because he seems to have success with that.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
Yeah, I got that Joey Ramone poster that he printed or was selling. That was really cool.
Yeah.
I haven't checked too much on it, but I don't know. Like doing this YouTube, it's like seeing all these people connected. So like I know he's in a band I listened to before. Like I got into this little scene. I guess I can make it all the Jasons.
Yeah.
But I was like, this guy plays in this band, and he does this, and I'm like, my mom's basement. I'm like, okay, and then it's like, holy crap, it's like a rabbit hole, and it's just getting bigger and bigger every day. I fall into it. Speaking of labels and stuff, do you guys plan to like stay independent, or would you join a small label in the future someday? Or is that too far ahead?
I mean, I think we would probably be cool with joining a label, but I don't know enough about it really, I guess, to like, because we did actually have one person reach out to us about doing that, and I was just kind of like, I don't know, like a little bit skeptical of it, I guess, because we are so new and I don't know what we're doing. Yeah. Like I don't want to get into a situation where somebody else like owns our music or something like that and not realize that that's what I did, so.
Yeah, you gotta be careful.
Yeah.
That stuff still happens in this day and age. I've heard stories from people avoiding contracts and stuff.
Yeah, and I don't want to end up with that because like I've already had some issues because of decisions that I made with publishing my books,
Hmm.
and I'm like I do not want to run into stuff like that again because like I independently published both of my books, and one of them is basically owned by Amazon now because I did that.
Oh
The
no.
other, yeah, the other one is technically mine still, but like I'm not going to be able to get like a bigger publisher to publish it because someone else already technically owns it. You know, like there's so much like issues with copyright and stuff that goes into that. So I don't want to make those kind of mistakes with our music.
Right. Yeah. Wow. I'm sorry to hear that. That's.
It's just me being impatient and trying to get stuff out like immediately. So I went the quickest way, and then I screwed myself over.
Yeah. That's usually how it goes. Light for me in general or something. So patience is always key. That's one thing I'm still learning.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool. So I want asking about touring too. I don't want to hold you guys up too long. And sorry if I am, but do you guys want to? Do you guys like plan to go out of state too in the future? Like playing the shows?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure most of the shows we play are going to be out of state.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say our first shows are probably going to be in West Virginia,
Okay.
probably in like the Charleston area. And then, we've talked to a couple of people who want to do shows with us. And I know Mike Volka told us that he could help us out with getting a show in Indiana whenever we get ready to do that.
Yeah.
So I mean, we have some people who want to do some stuff with us. So I'm just excited to actually get started on doing that kind of stuff because I'm going to be like super nervous the first time we do a show, I'm sure, but
Right.
I want to do it. So
Yeah, you want to do it. And nervousness is normal.
yeah.
And, you know, people, I always hear that. I'm like, oh, it's not. It shouldn't be. But once you do it, you're already doing it now. And once you go out there and do a show, it's gonna come to you guys both. You know.
Yeah. Well, he's played shows before in his old bands. He's like been in a bunch of bands and like they played shows at what's that place called?
Blue Parrot.
The Blue Parrot in Charleston. Like they played some shows there
Oh,
and
cool.
yeah, so like he's done that before.
Mhm.
I haven't sang in front of anybody in like an audience since I was in high school and did just like karaoke talent show kind of stuff. So
Okay. Yeah, it's. I've only done karaoke at a bar, so it's like, and then at that point, no one cares what. That's probably why I did it because nobody cares. But I mean, I guess if you screech or something, but no one's gonna pay attention that much to you. I did the Ramones or whatever. I was like, oh, looking for the book. I'm like, oh, okay, no one's gonna notice that. That's very cool.
Yeah, like I know like when we had that practice the other night with our bassist where it was my first time like trying to sing around that guy even I got really nervous and we started practicing Flashlight and like I was like whispering because and then he started like dancing and stuff and I calmed down because I was like, okay, this guy's cool, it's fine, I can do this.
Right? Yeah. No, I get that totally. Especially if someone's there with you, it's still like.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a great opener to the EP Flashlight. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Sorry, I can't praise it enough. It's so good.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
We picked that song, so like we did order the songs, it like purposefully, like we put them in a certain order, and like we put Flashlight first because it kind of sets up what the album is, you know, like it's like about telling ghost stories around a campfire and stuff, so that's why we put that one as the first track.
Yeah, it's perfect intro. Perfect setting. Sets it right up. All right, cool. Is there anything? I mean, for the merch, I'm gonna link that down below too. The Big Cartel, Bandcamp, and all that. Is there anything else you both would like to add?
You got anything? I'm just super like appreciative and thankful for you having us on here for one thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't get you on sooner. I mean, I know you had like I was telling you, you had the podcast you're doing. I know you're on. You had the fan show, and then you were doing the Sunday morning shit show with V. I was like, shoot, I'll ask her later because I don't want to be like, hey, me too. I'm glad I got you on though.
I'm always like, so I am a recovering alcoholic. So like I just cram my days full of stuff. I like to stay busy. That way I don't have a lot of free time to mess anything up.
Well, that's great. Keep it up. I gotta try that.
You can do it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And the cigarettes too. That's a whole nother story. It's a rock and roll.
But yeah, I'm like super grateful and thankful to anybody who checks out our music and like gives us a chance and stuff, because I know this is like a not your typical everyday kind of thing that we're doing, and I just really enjoyed doing it, and it's a lot of fun. So it's really cool to see that people like it and are finding something in it, to connect with or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So.
Absolutely, yeah. It's really cool that people surrounded this whole community and all that. I love it. It's great. Everyone's just so positive and nice. And I've been in music around music communities that are like totally bad, toxic, and so this is so refreshing.
Yeah, the community that is like the Jason's community, because that's what I consider it, because that's how I have met everybody that I know. Yeah, and so it's like. It really is the most like accepting and positive community that I have ever been a part of, because I mean, like in the past, like the kind of bands that I was in like fandoms for, like All Time Low and stuff like that, those are all a bunch of people who are just trying to one up each other and are real like selfish and will like punch you in the face just so they can like get to touch like Alex Gaskar's shoe or whatever. So
it's so true. Yeah. I've heard those stories.
Yeah. So it's cool to be part of something that's not toxic.
Yeah, for real. Awesome. Well, thank you guys both for coming on. It's been great chatting with you. Get on Spotify or your preferred streaming to check out the EP, and the Bandcamp page will be down below. It's definitely worth listening to, and it's exciting. I'm really excited to see like where you guys go next and everything. It's been really awesome watching you guys.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.